Good morning, good Friday frickin' morning. Ooh, hi, bitch. Wanted to come in for a little bit and say happy Friday, man. All right, all right, all right. Not sure what happened. It said it got disconnected. I'm not sure what's going on. All right, can you guys hear me clearly? Can you hear me clearly now? Can you hear me clearly now? Oh, well, Friday morning, beautiful friggin' day. I'm going to tell you, well, it depends what you call beautiful. Check this out. It depends what you call beautiful. It's going to rain again. Travel freely. Good morning and good evening or good morning, depending on where you are. Laura Lee, how you doing? Yes, it's definitely going to rain today. Definitely going to rain. You know, I wanted to touch base on something. Hope you all can you hear? Uh, can can hear you, Nico. You can't hear me. Okay, hold on. Hear me now. Can you hear me now? Let me know. I apologize. It's probably going to sound better now. Okay. You try to work out these bugs every single time, and it never really works. Sometimes you get them and sometimes you don't. I hear you. Okay, good. Laura Lee, could you hear me before, or was it lower? Was it a little muffed up per se? Let's just say that. Ah, I'm in kind of like a side of a mountain. Sweet. Let me see. What's up? Good morning, Tim. How are you? Good morning. Uh, Muffled. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to use a microphone. See, that's what happens. And sometimes you get a little glitchy here and there. Fifi, thank you. I mean, if you like it the other way, all muffed up, that's fine. I like muffed. I like muff diving myself. I understand. Well, I got the scooter yesterday. Everything works out. Everything went out. Everything went well. What needed to be addressed, which were brakes, tires, lubrication. Those that like being lubed, being friggin' lubed. Everything went well. There was really nothing you had to do to the scooter. There's really nothing. The scooter was pretty much intact. But when you're riding around in that scooter, man, and you're riding around and having, you're just out and about and putting miles on that thing. You gotta maintain them. A lot of these scooters here in the Philippines, uh, is they don't really take. Let me tell you something. Let me stop saying they don't really take care of their stuff. It's not that. It's a 50-50 shot. They can afford to buy tires. They can afford to do the belt. They can afford to maintain it. A lot of times, Filipinos buy stuff, right? And it's very convenient to them because it's nice transportation. They can make money. But then comes, when they're paying sometimes 5, 8, 10,000 pesos a month for the scooter, then you got to maintain it. Then you got to make sure the oil changes are done. Make sure some of these people are sliding and flipping and flapping all over the place. And their scooters are very not safe because of the tires. So I made sure the guy says everything is fine. And he goes, your scooter's riding good. So we should be heading out of here Saturday or Sunday. I'm trying to figure out what I talked to Maria. Should I go ahead? It's easier if I go ahead, or should we go together? She said it doesn't matter. If you want to go ahead, you can go ahead and I'll meet you at the at the ferry, or we'll go together. So that's what we're planning now. I got to go downstairs and wipe her down. Everything came good. Everything was good. I talked to my mother just a little bit ago. Everything is good. Everything is good. Everything needs to be where it needs to be, kind of thing. I will tell her right now, Laura Lee. Hold on. Hey, Maria. Laura Lee says hi. Um, Now I'm gonna have my cup of Joe. Uh, Laura Lee, yes, Laura Lee. Laura Lee Hudson says hello. So I wanted to touch base. I know some people about something that I learned yesterday, and you don't really think you learn stuff, but you're continuously learning as old as you get. I was on a social media vlog yesterday. Somebody was live yesterday on another social media. Well, I could share what it is. It's not like I'm hiding it. He was on Instagram, and I was talking to him, right? And throw away Mike, it's easier. Well, I will tell you, I ended up. Could I buy a Rusi? I could have bought a motorcycle, but I'm gonna tell you, Sweepy, I didn't really care for it because I don't want to be switching gears. Yes, it's more powerful. Yes, it's chain driven. It's better, but you're not going to get back as much when you resell it. Like this one, I'm not going to sell. This one is just going to put in storage, and the gentleman and Maria's going to maintain it. If it needs an oil change, they'll start it out. She doesn't like riding scooters. She just doesn't like it, period. She just likes to be old-fashioned Filipina. She likes her jeepney. She likes her, angkas. And she's like, I'll just make sure it's maintained. And that's what she'll do. She'll maintain it. And then if I'm not coming back in 2 or 3 years, I'll tell her to sell it, and say, hey, put the money away, take the money, do what you want to, there's always a give and take here. You got to make sure that what you invest in. But the Rusi, I like those. I really do like them a lot. But I didn't feel like, gearing it, and here I carry company because I like, hanging out with Maria and everything, but I don't like the responsibility. If anything were to happen, at least to me, I can be safe and say, hey, I busted my ass. But I didn't want to, I crash them and give them away every year. They last, I'm out. I'm not going to lie. If you can get a really good deal on those, and especially used ones here, but I don't know. I don't know if I don't have the patience here like I do in the US. Here, everybody's just like road hogs. They're road hungry. They're in a hurry to get nowhere. Well, they're going to get somewhere, but you know what I mean. It's like they'd rather risk the safety of it. I tell Maria all the time. Like last night, she was the first time she said, "Nico, you were riding friggin' fast. Like you were like, what happened?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I thought I was riding normal. I'm getting more and more Filipino. There's nothing I can't ride in here. I can ride a car here. I can do everything here. I just didn't feel. She said that I'm getting more like Filipino, and I don't like to do that because that's how accidents happen. And plus, in the city, it is so congested as shit here. So I don't like it. I had a Yamaha 125 scooter. It was fun. I paid 19 US. I paid Go sister. I got this shit out of steel. I got this at what is it? Transfer of ownership. I couldn't have got this at a better deal. I saved a shitload amount of money, but it did come with a little bit of headache, and I'm going to do videos on that just so people can educate themselves. Those that know, and those that don't know will learn. Transfers of ownership are not as easy as people think. You still got to take it down. We had to go to like 5 or 6 different places. LTO has to be pleased. LTO is starting to get very serious here. I guess because everybody's passing the buck to LTO. The policías are saying the LTOs are not doing their job. LTOs are saying the policías are not doing their jobs. The traffic enforcers are saying the LTOs. Everybody's passing the fucking buck here, right? So what's happening is that now they're cracking down on. When I tell you they're cracking down, bro, they're hitting you for fucking everything. Your helmet doesn't seem to be the right color. I mean, will it stick in court? Probably not. But a lot of what they're doing is pulling people over and getting a lot of these people non-licensed. There's a shitload of people here not licensed, But again, that's neither here nor there. My point to that conversation was they are cracking down so hard here on that shit that Uh, when we did a transfer of ownership because the gentleman's like, hey, listen, I'm going to take a loss. Well, he didn't take a loss per se. What he did was he already made his last payment, and he said, hey, do you want to take it over? And she took over. She's like, hey, listen, I'll do it. You can't go wrong. The thing was less than 6 months old. You know what I mean? We took it over. But we had to go to different places. We had to go to LTO. We had to get it inspected. We had to get it, make sure that the insurance is covered up. We had to make sure that all the transfer papers were done. Then we had to go to the dealer and make sure that the numbers were right. Because remember, these things, you can just because you're in the Philippines doesn't mean you're not going to get shafted. You're not going to get sold a fake fucking scooter, like a stolen scooter. You have to go to the police department. Then you had to get you had to get the numbers registered. I wish I would have just taken the video. I wasn't trying to be rude to anybody. I mean, there was a guy at the police station taking the numbers on the block, taking the numbers on the frame, on the engine. They were doing crazy shit. Then you had to take that shit to the LTO. Then you had to take that to the other part of the police station. It was a long process. And yes, corruption is beautiful. Fixers, use the fixers. They'll get, I'm going to tell you, CP, the problem here is, you are either damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. The fixers may help you, but if you're caught, which usually if the percentage is getting higher, Sleepy, they're getting higher on the fixers. If you're caught, you're screwed. Not just a fixer. They're cracking, like, dude, they're arresting these people. They're giving them some serious freaking fines and serious jail term. She met a fixer. Well, not she. We were always together, pretty much. Downtown in Colon, we went down to the city hall. I call it city hall, the big building, over by the ferry, over by the main downtown. Let me ask her what it's called. Hold on, Maria. What's that big building that we went to downtown? And then the gentleman was trying to come up to you, talking to you. Yeah, it is city hall. She says no fixer. Yeah, she said yeah, the cops are now worried. I try not to be rude. I mean, fuck, yeah, the thing is, the corruption is so bad, CP, that each one doesn't want to take the blame, but they all help each other out. When it comes to money, they all help each other out, 100%. If they're all dabbling in, everything's fine. The moment LTO gets in trouble, it's the policia's fault. If the policia gets in trouble, the higher ups are like, no, it was the freaking, it was the traffic enforcers. Traffic enforcers blame the freaking the LTO. So now they're all kind of like doing their job of fucking the little guy. And most of the guys that are getting fucked are getting caught in between the snags, but they're still helping each other out. You know what I mean? There's always going to be a good fixer. The problem is the way we did it. I'm going to be honest with you, CP. I mean, I don't bullshit. I'm very transparent. I believe I am. It took a lot of fucking headache. But it did go smoother than I thought. A lot of what I didn't like here was the fact that you had to go to so many different places because the bike could have been stolen. It had to get inspected. They had to check the engine. They had to check the lights. They had to check, is it running right? Does it have any accidents? This is what they do. Again, this is what we went through to do the transfer of ownership. It took about a week, and it took 2 weeks to get papers, I think. The longest was the transfer of ownership papers that had to come from the LTO. That was the longest. That took about, what, 2 or 3 weeks? Okay. She said everything would have been faster. It took about a week after we got the signature, because what happened was the gentleman had issued a copy of his ID, copy of everything, but you couldn't really see the person that took the picture, the photocopy. They couldn't see the signature, right? Yeah, they couldn't see the signature. And the signature, in other places, it would have been accepted. But since we're in Cebu City, she could have done it in Dumaguete. She could have done it in a fucking, what is it? In anywhere. She could have done this shit over in fucking, Mandela, for all we know. But since it's in Cebu, they're like, we can't see the signature. So we had to go back to the guy. Well, we didn't. The dealership goes back to the guy. and says, hey, this is what we need. And then, of course, the process of waiting because that person could be working. So that is what took a while. Then they had to send it over to the LTO. They send it over. They mail it over to LTO because you guys know it's a snail mail. So after they sent it, that's why it took long. But we were still able to use the scooter. It was still legal. Everything was still legal. We just, we had 3 years because the scooter is brand new. It's like I said, it's less than 6 months old, six months old or less. So we still had 2.5 years to re-register. We were just doing a transfer of ownership, so we could ride the scooter. That was the advantage of getting something that simple transferred over. You see what I'm saying? Because it was easier that way. Now, if you would have bought the scooter, you would have to go to the dealership, wait 30 days possibly. You could not use that scooter. Now, if you're in the city, you're not supposed to use it. If you're in the province, nobody's really going to fuck with you. I'm being honest. This is how it is. Unless you get stopped at a freaking like a stop. You're not supposed to use a scooter for 30 days. They tell you at the dealership. People say, "Oh yeah, I got to use it." No, you didn't. You got to use it illegally. That's how it works. They use it illegally. You're not supposed to use that scooter for 30 days until you get the paperwork in the mail. All right. But people in the province, they use it. In the city, they probably do in the city, but I wouldn't take the fucking chance. If you're caught, you're screwed, dude. That's like a 15,000 peso, 10,000 peso freaking fine. For us, it's only a couple $100. For them, it's freaking that's like a month and a half, or 2 months of work. You know what I mean? So they're not going to take the chance. But all in all, our scooter turned out to be very, very reliable. Like I said, the things that I'm doing to it is because I want to, add extra padding on the seat because of my fat ass, because I'm an older guy, and I want to be more fucking comfortable when I'm riding. I put the top box. I put new grips. Again, did it need them? No, but why not modify the little bit? All around it probably cost me still under $3,000. To buy it, to fix it, to not, when I say fix it, I mean more like putting the pedals, putting the top box, putting all that shit together. You know what I mean? That's on the high end. I think it ran me like $2,000. I'm just saying high because you just never know. These little LTO fees, the transfer fee, all that stuff. You need a hitch and trailer for companion. Well, I'm gonna tell you. I will tell you, I've gotten used to Maria being around. I've gotten used to some of these ladies being around. That is my what color? Hopefully blue. Wait till you see it. It is actually white, Laura Lee. But wait till you see it. When you said blue, you will be proud, Laura Lee. You will be proud. I will send you a picture of what we did to it. We actually did something to it that actually makes it look white and blue. And again, it's just a little freaking, just a little, how do you say? It's just a little bit of a cosmetic per se. It's a little cosmetic, But, oh shit, it's starting to rain. I knew it was going to rain. Let's see. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, this girl's coming. I'm telling you, look at this. This girl's coming. Look. It's drizzling right now. It's like drizzling. It's there. She's top box can be as high as 6. Well, we actually found some here. When you stock them up here, we found one made of polymer and aluminum. And I think she paid. Let me see. What did you pay? $3K or $4K for the top box? $2K. She got it for $2K, bro. I'm telling you, there's ways around things, and the quality is good. And we ended up getting the bottom piece. I call it the harness, the real aluminum, the aluminum bracket that holds the top box. We got a really good quality, and that it detaches. We got the one that detaches the top box, so we can either take the top box or leave the top box. So I like that a lot. It will be. I thought of investing in a trike. I thought of investing, but the thing is here, they take such a they all take a beating. I'm not trying to justify, I just didn't feel like having, I'm not going to be working. I told her she can't ride scooters. I don't know if she can't or she doesn't want to. I don't know. I never asked. But I told her she can make money off of it when I'm gone. You know what I mean? Listen, one thing that I have noticed in this country, everybody benefits from something. She'll benefit from me. I benefit from her. There was a vlogger. It's still around. I'm just saying the vlogger used to say it, and it's a perfect friggin' thing. You pay, you pay, you pay. You're always gonna pay. Cannabis stereo light spinners. Well, I mean, I did find a way to put some music on it. Again, I'm going to be doing a video. You guys can laugh. You guys can enjoy. Either way, it's not going to hurt my feelings. The modifications that I did is for traveling. So when I'm traveling, I can hear music. I put two extra 3.0 high charging ports, USB. So one's for the phone to keep my phone charged, and one is for the speaker. So I put a nice little waterproof speaker, loud enough for us to hear it. It's not against LTO. Everything here has to be LTO approved. If they catch you, they're going to find you. I can guarantee you they're going to find you, especially if you're a foreigner. They're going to find you. 100% they're going to find you. So everything is LTO approved. Yeah, and let me tell you, Ricky said it right. And that's something that I never disagreed. I mean, even I don't disagree with anything anybody says. I fuck around with people, but that's their own way of thinking. But yeah, you pay, and it doesn't matter. You know what you do. If you take a woman out, you paying. If you invite a woman out, you paying. You hanging out with her and she goes with you everywhere you go, you paying. And so you pay. I have a driver with a trike that I use 4 days per week, and also single. Let me see, for a single motor for occasional use. You know, I will tell you, Tim. Next time I come here, I am considering. They are making. I have seen some. I've seen them online, but of course, I'm not thinking. You know, I'm thinking a year or 2 or 3 years down the road. If I return to Asia, if and when, or maybe I'll still be here. You never know. I don't have to go home. I go home because for only 2 reasons. I have to go home for an emergency because I have to, because there's nothing anybody can do over there. I have to be there. Or medical. There's some medicals every 4 or 5 years that I have to go back, and I have to officially be there through the VA. I have to. There's no it's and the buts. Now, could I take the VA and do it over here in Manila? That's something that I have not crossed the path yet, so I will find out if I can. But I may still be here, but that is not a bad idea. Now, see, under your situation, Tim, I understand why you have to have that transportation. But I don't mind having the fucking tricycle, excuse my language, that tricycle. That wouldn't be a bad investment. They're making scooters now, motorcycles, with the additional side car, but the sidecar is for traveling. You can sleep in it. It fits one person, of course, but it doesn't matter. Let's just say it's just you or you and a person. Man, I could sleep on I could sleep at the bus stop.
For roughing the photo alone is 10,000.
Altogether, yeah. Oh well, we wrapped it. That's what I was going to tell you guys, because she already said it on live. I was hoping to show it to you. We wrapped the scooter. We wrapped it a different color. We could not go off the color too much. The color is white. So we could not go too far off because LTO sees it. Now it's legal. It's still white. It just has a glaze of blue. So, of course, you know, these little modifications are fucking beautiful. I like it. I'm pimping my ride, bitches. I'm pimping my ride. If you ever check out the bike shows, yeah, the top box alone, Tim, was $5K plus. The Nico wants his box more pretty. Well, remember, $5K, Tim, because it includes the box and it includes the bracket, the harness. A lot of times, and guys, I'm not saying this in a disrespectful way, for the most part, Filipinos try to find a cheap way out. They get a really good top box or a decent top box, and then the bracket of the harness is made of plastic, and then it bends. Or like the top box is one of the highest cause of accidents here in the Philippines. I can't speak for other countries. I can only tell you from the Philippines. We've been talking to police. I'm not a stranger to fucking, hanging out and talking to people and being fucking respectful and talking to people. And her family, I mean, she's well known. Like, she has enough connections with police and everything on her end. And we talked to them, and they are saying most of the accidents that we have now is because the top box is already heavy to begin with. So the top box makes it uneven. So people are driving, and sometimes they fall off to the side, or they overpack it, and then they forget they're packing two more Filipinos, even though they're small. It puts weight on these scooters. That's why the Rusi Sweet Pea is a good option, because the motorcycle's heavy. But I didn't want to take the motorcycle way out, and then and then it, in switching gears.
The habal-habal all in Manila is Rosie.
No, well, that's not what he's saying. We know they're strong, but I did not want to go and use and change gears. I didn't want to be like every stop go. I didn't want to do that. I wanted an automatic.
No, there's a Rosie that's automatic now.
She said, and I'll be honest. If I can get the power of a motorcycle, the strength, the build, the weight, and everything of a motorcycle, and be automatic while you're here. See, this is not Florida. This is not Massachusetts. This is not California. This is not Texas. It's everything is confined to a small fucking area. Now, would I get a Rusi in the province? Yes. I would rather get a motorcycle than a scooter in the province. If I was saying, let's just say I'm saying I'm staying for 2 years. Let's just say I'm staying for 2 years. Then I will take the motorcycle. I will go to Rusi or I actually like that KDW or that orange bike. I call it maybe Tim or CP. You guys know the name of that bike? It's the orange bike. I call it the orange motorcycle. It's called KDW, KWC or something. Or maybe I'm butchering the shit out of the name, which I am. Let me know what that thing. I like that, but we saw some really good motorcycles. Let's see. I like the Kawasaki. They have a nice one. They have a new freaking a new CBR 600 double R, but it's a motorcycle. It's not one of these fancy freaking rice burners. It's a nice one. What is the name of that? And I and then you got Slappy Sally. How you doing? Sidecar with a 30 millimeter belt fit. Let me tell you, CP, that is a good idea. Let me see what the name of that bike, because you know me. You know me. I got to get that name. Hold on. And I apologize. I need to know the name. It's in my head. Give me a second. It's a very famous brand here. Orange color motorcycle in the Philippines. Let's see what they go. Let's see. It's once I get the name right here. Oh no. That's not the, they showed me they showed me the friggin' they showed me an orange fucking motorcycle. Top motorcycle motorcycle dealers in Cebu. Right, let's try that. Yeah, I like that. Let me see. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Once I know the name, you guys will be like, "Oh, that's easy." Watch. It's no, it's not Kawasaki. It's not Suzuki. It's not Yamaha. It's not KTM. It's a KTM is the name of the freaking brand. I like that brand. But that would be a motorcycle that I would use in the province, outside, like when I went to Dumaguete, or I would get one in Bantayan Island, because it's bigger. It's not so fucking compressed. I would love to have one in Camotes like that. Here, I would never use a fucking scooter. Could I? Yes, I took a ride not too long ago on my friend's motorcycle, and I didn't like it because you're constantly hitting that clutch. You're constantly doing shit. I don't like it. You know what, Laura Lee? I have thought about a Harley. I am an Indian Harley fan. And I will tell you what I really would get here if I was ever going to stay a long term, but I wouldn't spend the money. I said I would like to get one here. I would. Is the Jesus, now that I should have just said the name and you would have already known it. What is that? A Ducati. Ducati makes a beautiful freaking bike with the straight handlebars. I'm getting older, so I don't need anything crouching into my fucking balls. So I need something with a longer. That's why I got the ADV 160. I should have gotten the ADV 350, but it wasn't available when I wanted to get one, so I couldn't do that. But I like the handlebars. Now, do I like the NMAX? I love the NMAX. The NMAX didn't hold as much as this ADV does, and this one's a little more off-road than it is on, than the NMAX. So I kind of weighed out the fact it's got a bigger tank. It's got a big, it's higher off the ground. So when you're riding over this, with the dirt, the rocks and stuff, because let me tell you, not every road in the Philippines is paved. So you need something that's going to be conveniently well done outside of it. You know what I mean? So you can use it in and out of the province, like around. But yeah, everything worked out pretty good. Like I said, everything worked out good with the scooter. Everything worked out pretty well with everything. I rented a house for 30 days. I'll be heading out to that area on Sunday morning around 4 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, that's the only reason I didn't get a motorcycle. And you know what, Tim? Ducatis are not that expensive. They're not that cheap. But the one that I next time I'll do a live show, Tim, I'll put it on the thumbnail. Actually, let me tell you which one I would get, and you can look it up. Let me go grab my other phone. Hold on. If I can ever find that bitch, because everywhere I walk with my other phone, I can never find it. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Thank you. I'll tell you which one is the one that I was looking at. I think it's called the Ducati 931 or something. Hold on. Because they again, you got to look at the Ducati, because the Ducati, do I have to get a Ducati? No, it's just, they're just reliable models right here. I can find something similar. I think the KTM are just as similar. You know what I mean? They're really good. Let me see. Right here. Let's go for model range. And I'll tell you which one I got. Again, I have been thinking of staying longer. Do I have to go home? Oh man, it's not. I don't have. My family's fine. My family's more than fine, man. I go home because I want to. All right. So I'm looking. If I had to choose, I like the V2, the Victor 2, the number 2. I like the Victor 2 or the Victor 2S. Now, if I was going to be staying here for long, like 3-4 years, I would get the Victor 4 because of the handlebars. They're heavy, they're good, they're reliable. But see, the KTM are just as good, but they're not as expensive. So I could get a KTM if I was in the province, if I was staying out there and I found a rental and I say, hey, this is reasonable, I can stay another year or two. I would invest in a KTM. I would definitely keep the scooter if I was coming back into the city or something like that. I just don't like motorcycles in the city. Never did, never will. That's all. It's a personal preference. But again, enough about. No, it's not a bad thing. It's just I hope you all are going to have a great weekend. I'm actually going to go downstairs and wipe everything down on the scooter, get everything done, kill some of these fucking roosters because they don't shut up all fucking weekend. Make some fucking soup out of these bitches. No, I'm just joking. It's part of being in the Philippines or any Asian country. If you can't stand the roosters, you can't stand the fucking chickens and the dogs and the cats and all this other noise. You shouldn't even be in there. You shouldn't be in this country. Oh, so what I was trying to say before, I was in the show. I apologize. I was in the show on Instagram. And you wouldn't believe, I'm pretty sure you all do, but you wouldn't believe the amount of people that sanely do live shows. And they do really good shows on YouTube. Excuse me, on social media, not YouTube, on social media. It blows my mind how many sane people there actually is that actually really do these things for a living and really have a good time in certain countries. This gentleman is in Thailand. And he said he travels to Vietnam and Thailand. He says he loves the Philippines. And we were talking. We just happened to all talk about the Philippines. And he was asking me, have you been here? And I've been to over, I think about half the places he was talking about. But then he started getting into all the stuff, with what do you say? He says, have you gone to Boracay? I said, no. He says, how about, have you gone to, what's the other place? El Nido. I said, no. He goes, why haven't you gone? Have you gone to Bohol? I said, I gone to Bohol with Big E, a friend of mine and his family. I had a great time, but it's just not me. He goes, which ones do you like? I said, I like Palawan. Palawan was nice, but not Palawan, Malapascua. Malapascua is nice, but it's too small. I said I did like a lot. I really did like Camotes. I really liked it. Unfortunately, what I didn't like, and I was honest with him, I said, what I don't like is high tourist places. It all looks pretty when you're there. you know. And in what is it in Palawan? You got stage one, stage two, stage like there's so many ways of making and sharing experiences. And I feel like you don't have to go to these tourist spots to do that. I really feel that I could do. If I went, it's because I can at least say, "Hey, I went." That's the only reason I would spend that money. You wouldn't have to. There's so much more beautiful places that you can enjoy than going to the tourist attractions. And they're going to spend all that money just for that. And then when you start hearing Filipinos and foreigners telling you, yo, these things are overly priced, that's what happens when you overly crowd things. This is what happens, and they justify it and say, well, this is what we should do. Dude, there's no reason why these prices need to be this high. Well, in the right eyes, in the right eyes, what's happening is all these foreigners, all these, people are going to there, they're going there. And what's happening is after they go there, they're jacking up the prices for things because people don't care. You see what I'm saying? We attracted 15,000 foreigners. Let's make it look prettier. We'll attract 15,000 more. It'll be 30. We'll raise the prices as we go. So I can understand if Filipinos tell you that it's expensive because Filipinos can afford it. Most can afford it, some can't. Same as foreigners. Some foreigners don't go because they can't afford it. And they're like, why would I spend it? I personally can afford it. And I personally wouldn't do it. If Maria says, I'd like to go, I've never been, I'd probably go 2 days, just so she can go because she's earned that right to ask. If she could ask, she would. But she's like, no, I'd rather fucking go to the places that this girl picks are more beautiful than most of the places that are on freaking, they're like, oh my God, you have to try this, people. No, she picks some beautiful fucking places, man. And I go with the flow, man. It's, people, you got to stop living by other people, because people's like, oh, it's because you can't afford it. Fuck what people say, and just do your thing. Enjoy. I have stopped in so many places. I got so much video of places that I don't post because some things I don't think you guys will like. Some people get really irritated when they're like, dude, why aren't you posting those places? Because I show them to them outside of YouTube. Like I show it to them on their personal phones. Like I send it to them on a video or a link. And they're like, why aren't you posting this shit, dude? This shit's beautiful. And I'm thinking it's because nobody will like it. He goes, bro, fuck what anybody likes. Most of these people ain't doing shit. They're not even going anywhere. So he goes, go out there and fucking post everything. So I'm thinking of starting to post even the stupid. I'm not, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's not the stupidest things. What I think people may not like, people might like, Let me see. Ducatis they are incredible. Leave them alone, Nico. I always think about service availability in the province when traveling. Honda dealers are everywhere. See, that's Tim. That is why I went the route that I went, because it's serviceable. It's not that expensive. It's only expensive. Like, I will tell you what we ran into. We wanted to wrap and put a detail, some stickers on the scooter, and she likes it because she's enjoying this journey. You know what I mean? Not many women, or not many people, or not many men can say they're enjoying a nice journey. She's like, Nico, can I put stickers on the scooter? And I said, of course you can. So she started putting on Filipino, and she's like, what's your Spanish flag look like? And I said, well, if you want to get it, you can. So she started putting details on it, right? And the reason I'm saying this is because we were trying to find fenders or flares. We were trying to find the plastic fenders, the bike fenders online. You could not get them in a dealer. The dealer says the bike is too new. They haven't made them. They haven't stocked up that much yet. If you get them, it's going to take you 3 or 4 months through us. And that's a Honda dealership. So all the Hondas that I went to, I said, it's impossible for Honda not to be able to get their parts. It wasn't impossible. We were trying to get rear shocks upgraded because we have the top box. So we went to a bunch of different dealers. We went a bunch of mechanics. The mechanic goes, you're going to spend so much money trying to damper that box. Just go slow. Take your time. Don't be in a hurry. The scooter's built for it. Trust me. Just don't go overly spending all this money that you don't need because you want to make your bike. You want to transport your bike into something that is, what is it? Travel friendly. He goes, you should see the ADVs, the 160s that we see come through here. They can take it. Trust me. Just take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Packing up you and your girlfriend, you and your partner, you and your caretaker, you and your wife, you and your barangay. you and your blogger, it doesn't matter what the fuck you have in the bag, or you and your own ass. It says, they say, just take your time. So I will tell you, man, Honda was the best way to go. Honda was the best way to go. Now, I'm not saying that any other bike is not good. I can tell you, anywhere I go, there's a fucking Honda shop everywhere. Everywhere you go, there's a Honda shop, and it's they most of them. Excuse me, most of them have a repair shop inside. Let me see. You don't need to spend big money for quality resorts. No, you don't, Tim. You don't. You know what? And if you do, it's because that's what you want to do. But you're a dumb, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful. You're a dumbass. There's no reason why you would have to spend all that money just to say that you were there. I can go to Boracay right now. I can go to Palawan right now, and still, with everything I've been watching, me and her have been talking about it. Me and another girl have been talking about it. But you don't need to stay in. Dude, there's so many beautiful places that are not 5-star. They're 2 or 3 stars, but they have an AC. They have. They're not roach infested. They're right near the beach. They're freaking nice. You can find nice fucking places. They tell you where to go because the basement boys know the best, but they've never been to the Philippines. And it's, ET travel freely. Listen, one of the things that I noticed is a lot of the people that give you all this advice don't do anything, have not done nothing. You see what I'm saying? They'll walk out their house and they'll walk down the street and say, oh my God, this is the Philippines, raw hair is the Philippines. They don't do anything, and the basement dwellers are 99% of what's going on right now in social media. That's what we were talking about in Instagram. The guy said, why would we ever listen? Why would anybody ever listen to people that don't do shit? He goes, but this is what social media has turned into. It's turned into a plethora of basement dwellers trying to give everybody advice and trying to tell you this is the best way to go. This is how to prolong your life. This is the best way. You do this and you do this, bro. And most of these guys got a foot in the fucking grave to begin with. So, I mean, that's all I can say on that one. Most of the people trying to preach to you have no fucking leg to stand on. But we're so used to listening to people, we start to become how they are instead of continuously being who you are. You know what I mean? I may say things that may irritate people. People may not like me because they think I'm trying to play this fucking game or I'm trying to play this picture. Guys, I'm just having a little fun fucking around. Do I go overboard sometimes? I don't think I do. I think it's a tit for tat. I think if people are welcome to say what they feel, then why shouldn't anybody else? You see what I'm saying? I'm not here to be the YouTube police, your emotional police, your emotional fucking support person. So, but I get tired of it. Maria said something to me also as well, and this gentleman said something on Instagram when we were on the show. Maria goes, Nico, I don't know much about social media. I know I enjoy talking to family and I watch social media, but don't you think that the same people that are always telling you, don't do this, don't do that, and they've been miserable for 10, 12, 15, 8, 10 years, started the same way? They started off saying, I'm just going to joke about it, right? And I said, it made fucking sense. It doesn't make sense because the way I just said it, and I'll tell you my way so you can understand it. He said, everybody starts a certain way. They all start, I'm just going to have a little fun. And then 10 years later, they're embedded in it. They're fucking miserable. They're so busy living it through everybody's eyes. They're so busy being angry. She said, do you think you'd be like that in 10 years? I said, fuck no. No fucking way. And she goes, but don't you think that that's how they all started? Somehow saying, we're just going to have a little fun. And it woke, and the other guy on Instagram said, bro, when you surround yourself with toxicity, whether you are on the outside looking in or on the inside looking out, eventually the person on the outside looking in ends up becoming the person on the inside looking out. For the most part, not all, but for the high percentage, you end up being as toxic and equally toxic as that person. They say you can justify it any way you want it, but that's what you become. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to fucking be like that. I cannot be like that. And now I'm not saying that Anybody else should be, no, do whatever the fuck you want. I just don't want to be like that, you know? Hold on. Mm. You know what, Tim? I'm going to tell you something that I learned. I'm glad you said that. You know what I found out here? And Tim, you probably already knew this. And I think Maria disagrees with me, and that's okay. If she doesn't, that's fine. But I think we had this discussion before. If the Filipino, it's like social media. They're all out to get each other. If they don't like you, if they don't see what they're not pleased with you or anything. I learned that Filipinos here, if they screw over each other, they'll screw a foreigner without even thinking of blinking an eye. I have seen, like, she was talking to me, and she told me, she said, Nico, I never really seen Filipino go after Filipino like that, but they do it in a different way, you see? And they do it, whether it's the land, whether it's anything like that. Dude, and she educates me all the time. She's like, no, trust me. Oh, there it is. There's the rain. So I learned that really fast here. If Filipino will screw each other, what do you think they'll do to you? When she travel freely says, lots of them came over and find those baby stories are totally dickheads. Never share. No, most of what, and you know what? ET travel freely, most of these people like that, most of these basement dwellers have been picked on, have been abused. And I don't mean abused in a sense of the word, like they were bullied. They were bullied, they were abused, they were somebody's step stool, and they feel empowered and tough by being online. That's exactly how it is. Hold on. Maria, you want some? It's a little spicy. I didn't put hot sauce, but it's a little spicy, but it's good. You'll like this better than mine. I'm giving her a sausage, and she goes, no, because we found the spicy sausages, and I'm eating one for breakfast with some hash browns and some eggs, and I said, it's better than mine. You can taste this one. It's better than mine. That's why she's laughing. But yeah, that's usually how it is, travel freely. Most of these guys, they're hurting. They're hurting, and they'd rather put hurt and pain in other people. And because it's easier, travel freely, it's easier. They're not going to tell you that they were picked on. They're not going to tell you that they were bullied. They're not going to tell you anything like that. They're just going to say, we know what we're talking about. Okay. That's what I say. Okay, so that's fine. Take care, That's why I decided, like you travel freely. You're asking questions, you're making, you're having an opinion. I work off of that. But for me to start doing what they do, because most of these guys, what they do, they all say they started off for the right reasons. They could have stayed on the right track, but they don't. You got tons of people that don't like me because they never met me, but they don't like me. And that's fine. I'm not, like I said, that's fine. And they don't pay my bills. I don't really care. But you're 100% right. But what they don't talk about, travel freely, is how they were picked on, how they were bullied. And they're going to tell you no, because they've been so tough all their life, So they can tell you how to live yours. So that's but nah, they're good. You're good. I'm good. We're all good. And me, Laura Lee, don't listen to freaking Maria. I get abused by her. All right. Don't listen. Listen. You can ask Tim. Tim is a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a good guy, but I'm not a bad guy. She abuses me. She's waiting for you to come here so both of you can abuse me together. She's dying for you to come down here. She's like, why don't you invite her? I said, she can't stay long. Not everybody can do what I do, Or not everybody can go out and stay a month or two, Don't what? Don't do it, Laurel. What's her name? Laurel Lee. Laurel Lee. Laurel Lee, don't do it. How long have I been on? Okay. Oh, live, Nico, live. I'll stay 10 more minutes. I was only going to do 10 or 15, but we end up talking about stuff, you know? That's good. We can interact and have a good time. I got to tell you, man, there's so much to do here. Uh, let me see. Everyone has a different way to enjoy vacation. Some go, go, go. Some go one place to relax. You know, I learned that, Tim. I am going to be one of those. I'm going to pick a place and finally just settle in. But I think I will switch every year or every 2 years. That would be me. I wouldn't buy. I can't buy here because it's better for me to just stay 2 years in one place and then travel to another place and stay 2 years. The only people that buy, this is just my sole opinion, it's because they settled for somebody else. That is the only people that buy property and stay in one location, for the most part, are people that settled for somebody else. There's, from what I see, there's absolutely no reason for a foreigner to buy. He can rent the house for 2 years, pay off a year, get a contract, pay off the year, and just fucking relax. And then try another one. Let's just say, okay, let's just give you an example. You buy your partner's $100,000 house, 60 to 80,000, 900,000, whatever. You find out what the rent is for the year in a place like Boracay. You stay the year, you like it, extend. Okay. If she wants a house so bad, and if she's your partner, then take her with you, give her the opportunity, go to the US, let her work, let her do everything. There's no reason for you to buy her a house. I'm going to tell you why. This is my opinion. Because most of the ideas of houses come from the Filipina. I'm not saying that they don't deserve it. What I'm saying is if they want it so bad, most of them can get it. It's going to take them half a lifetime to get the income. If they're good at what they're doing, whatever they're doing, whether they're working, they got a store, they got a whatever. If they're good at how making the money, they may get it in a lifetime. They'll enjoy it. Their number one job is to take care of their family. Their number one job is to take care of their kids. So if they can stick with a foreigner or somebody that's going to, foreigner is not just a white guy, a black guy, a Puerto Rican guy. It's a guy that's not Filipino. If they can get that out of their house, out of the system, out of their way, they'll sacrifice anything they can to get it. I think it's not. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think if she's going to be with you, let her gain what she wants. But a lot of these guys are like, I wanted to. No, you didn't. Most of these guys did not want to buy that house. Nobody came to the Philippines to buy a house and property. They came to see where they can stay. Then they said, well, it'd be nice if I had my own place. And then what happens? You had the little cockatiel, you had the little parakeet, you had the little parrot on the ear saying, hey, we should buy property. Again, be smart about it. Everyone's like, yeah, but some Filipinos don't want to go to the US. Then don't buy a house. Huh? I'm telling you, don't buy a house.
Buy a mansion, not a house.
Yeah. If you leave that to Maria,
Mansion.
Maria says, why don't you buy a mansion?
Mansion, not a house.
And I said, and where am I going to sleep? She says, right in the little corner of the property. She goes, I'll get you a nice bamboo house in the corner. Can you believe this Filipina? She said, yeah, we'll get a mansion.
Like here.
Mm-hmm. She goes, that way I can keep an eye on my banquito.
That's what friends are for.
Mm-hmm. That's what friends are for. So she's going to put me in the corner with a little bamboo house with running water, toilet and everything. And she says, I got to keep an eye on my banquito.
In the corner.
She said, I'll give you Wi-Fi, Peso Wi-Fi, so I still have to pay. Listen, I just never you hear her, that's what friends are for. And she's singing it to me too. Laurelie, Puerto Rico. Yeah, listen, Tim, I have talked to her about building a little place where her father and mother live in a little corner, but she said that they don't have enough property. So I said, okay, I'm happy with a bamboo house with running water, Wi-Fi, and that's it, man. You get me a little fucking corner, I'm happy. Uh-huh. You hear? The same thing. The same thing you just said, Tim. Same thing we said. And the important thing is that you have running water. You can put the piping connections, everything. I don't need a fucking mansion, bro. I need a 2 bedroom freaking bamboo house.
House for you to sit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hold on. Let me read that one. That one's good. Yo, travel freely. That is fucking on point. I'll be the guard that she doesn't want to pay for. She don't have to pay. So I can take it. And if she puts a recliner, I might actually make it my fucking home. Oh my God, that's awesome. Why pay for security? We have Nico.
Good idea. Thank you for that. Now, mansion with the guard house. So you can stay in guard house. No need to build a small bahay kubo in the
You can make a big enough guardhouse so I can sleep there. That's a good idea.
inside the house.
You give me a little propane tank in the corner. Oh, she'll let me. Yeah, let's see. I can prepare my food in the dirty kitchen, not the house. She said I can prepare my food in the dirty kitchen. Oh my God, travel freely. You gave her an idea.
It's a good idea.
Oh my God. But so I mean, so you don't have running water, so that means you're working off of what, 5 gallon tanks? Yeah, he hasn't had water in 2 years. I'm sorry to hear that, Tim, man. I mean, to be honest with you, Tim, I'm like you. Me and you are the same. I think we have that understanding. It is part of what it is here. You can't really say anything. All you can do is hope that they fix the problem. I think you're working off of well, he hasn't been, so that means he's working off of so you've been ordering water, then I take it. I think you've been ordering the water. Well, I can tell you right now, dude, you got to take the Philippines for the good or the bad. You cannot, if you can't, you shouldn't be here. You don't see me making shows specifically talking about degrading the culture, degrading the Philippines. I tell you, hey, listen, it's not all. I have a 200. Oh, right. There you go. There you go. That's what your mother and father need.
Yeah,
Un tanque.
yeah, but, it's a bit over.
Mm-hmm.
With the
When everything's done. Yeah. Tim, they're talking. Her and her mother's talking. Because Maria makes her own, she makes her own side money. So she's asking me for ideas. And I said, where your mother and father live, the good thing is, Tim, this is the best, Tim. They get spring water. They get fresh, free water. And I said, have you ever thought of putting a tank right there? Nothing huge, but big enough. And with a little compressor, so your whole family can take nice showers. They can, because right now they take showers, but they do it Filipino style. They take it with a bucket in the water outside in the back in a little, in a little house. But they have access to water and it's free. So I said, why wouldn't you get a tank and compress that water? That way the pressure comes down and you guys can wash. You got constant, you guys got constant good pressure and free water. So she's looking into that as well. And I have 200. Now, when you fill it up, do they come and fill it up, Tim, or you can fill it up? You just don't have running water, but there is a way to fill it up, or somebody comes and fills it up for you. I think that's a good idea. What Tim did, I think we'll talk. We'll talk to your parents.
but we do in the province. The tanki, the cemento like that,
You
and
sure?
yeah, and they connect the
The whole.
so that there's a source of water every day because
You hear what she says, Tim? She says that they're going to make it out of cement. They're not going to make it out of stainless steel. I'll see if I can convince them to look at this different options. They're going to do it their way. When it's their money, I don't get involved. When it's my money, I don't get involved. If I give a little bit to say, hey, give this over there, make sure they're doing something, or make sure they're all set. Um, I still don't say it's my business. Just because I give doesn't mean it's my right to keep talking shit and saying do this and do this.
In the province, the water is flowing, so you don't need to wait. So the tank will be full.
See, she said it's a waste of money to get the tanque, the stainless steel tanque, because the water's constantly always running. It's for as long as they've been there. How old's your mother? Like 50?
Oh,
Your mother's 50 plus, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So the mother's almost 60. So for over 60 years and before her, there's been water running in her province. Yeah. So for over, I mean, as long as she can remember 60 plus years, her whole family, even it's been running for free. She said it would be a waste to spend money on a stainless steel tank. We just need to put something to store it, and pressure it, because what happens is it flows down, but the pressure's small. So I told her, why is it, I'm going to give you some ideas, Maria. I think you should invest in a compressor, like a compressor, so the pressure would be better for the house. Connected the way you have it connected already to the water. Pero that way the pressure could be better in the whole house, because it would be a waste of money for you because the water never stops running. The water is fresh. So if you were to buy a tanque, it would be useless because it's still flowing. So what I would do is connect like a compressor.
And then in the tank, for example, if the tank is our normal or didn't use the water,
Yeah.
through that getting other people down.
So they're thinking of helping others. Okay. That's not a bad, that's a good thing. You hear what she said? She said they're thinking of making a tank in the center where they're at because they can feed people further down with the tank.
It's us.
Yeah, but you guys can connect the hose to help some other people.
No, the water is from the flowing water.
She got me fucking confused here now. No, you got me confused. You just said that you're going to do the tanque and then you're going to help other people. Yeah, I know.
The flowing water, the hose.
No shit. I just said that you're going to connect the hose and you're going to connect it to help other people.
But you use the hose now. Now.
Bro, guys, this is Filipino talk. I'm not being rude. I'm just saying that is exactly what I'm saying right now. And you're like, no, Nico, no.
If we don't use the water,
Uh-huh.
we connect to other hose so that the other neighbor can use.
That's what the hell I just said.
But we don't connect to our tank. Direct from the flowing water goes to the neighbor.
Okay, yeah, then that makes no sense to me. But again, she says it'll work for her. Let's just say that. 'Cause I'm just totally, and again, I'm not being rude. I'm totally thrown away right now. I'm confused. But again, trust me, it's confused. But again, I'm not going to get into that because the thing is, if I try to explain it, you're going to come up with something else. The Filipino way of explaining it. What she's saying is she's going to help other people. That's all. There you go. How about that? It kind of benefits and helps other people. You see, I walked into this shit. Okay. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. No problem. You guys always got to agree. You guys always got to agree with the Filipino. When you don't understand, you just say, yeah, no, you know what? I misunderstood. You're 100% right. Yeah, girl, you got this. Fuck that. She just threw me. She just threw a couple. Dude, she threw so many curveballs that I'm fucking dizzy for a week. So yeah, that's what she's trying to tell you. Oh no, listen, I said the same thing just now. I said it 14 times. I said I don't understand. That's exactly what I said. You guys heard me, right? You guys heard me. I said I don't understand. And she goes, I know you don't understand. I said, yeah. All right, listen, I tried to cut this conversation about 5 minutes ago, motherfucker, and you still hear her, don't talk to her. And she's still dragging this shit on. She's like, if you don't understand, don't involve me, motherfucker. And I said, I tried to stop this conversation 15 minutes ago, and you're still dragging it on. But yeah, I just want to make sure that you all had a great time talking. And ET Travel Freely has already started the GoFundMe for the water tank and the guardhouse, so I can live there and be happy. So let me know how that goes. Travel freely. You guys take care. They can leave her alone. No, you guys be safe. Take care. I drag this on as long as I can. I like joking with you guys and fucking around with Maria and having a good time over here. It beats always yelling at your partner or your caretaker. It beats being disrespectful to them. And anyway, this is how we are. We understand each other our way. God bless you. Take care, Tim. I hope they fix this issue and problem. But it's working for you. You're like me. I'm not going to bitch and complain. They'll fix it when they can. Be safe. Travel freely. Sleepy, Laura Lee, Maria, the Maldita. You all take care and God bless. And I'll catch you guys on the next upload. Peace.